Hi, my name is Belden. I am a car service center manager based in KL. My parents were in the automotive industry basically their whole life. My parents were in the used car dealership industry, also the body and paint industry, and then now they're in the service and repair industry. So in the past, all my siblings, including me, we worked for our parents when we were young. But the funny thing is, we hated it initially, as most millennials would do. All of us decided not to work in the industry after we graduate. But back then, because of our background and exposure indirectly brought back by our parents, we actually knew about cars and the industry quite a bit without knowingly, as compared to other kids of the same age. So for example, like when I was in my primary school, I can actually recognize and remember most of the car brands and models that are common in Malaysia back then. Like Proton, Perodua, BMW, Mercedes. Most of my friends, they mostly can only recognize their own family cars, and then some don't even bother to know. Also, actually, certain models I can even remember their pricing at that specific time. But nevertheless, like most millennials do lah, we take it for granted. So after high school, I did an aquaculture degree in Australia. And then I came back to work in the agriculture industry, and then after that in the financial industry, and then finally got convinced by my parents to join the automotive industry. Initially, I was just there for the money and the convenience, because my house is just 10 minutes away from office. But over time, after working from the bottom up and dealing with all kinds of cars and people, we do a lot of cars, like all kinds of cars, from Proton to Toyota to Mercedes and BMW. I eventually became fascinated by the industry. Not so much because it feels cool to drive a BMW or Mercedes as part of your job. I have less interest in that aspect of cars, but I'm fascinated by the transformation of the technology itself. Imagine working on a Proton Iswara in the morning. That is like the 1990 something ish car, and then in the afternoon you work on the latest X70, Proton X70. It's a bit like time traveling. I'm actually more fascinated in the transformation of technology in the cars. Like in the past, there is no such thing as smart key. A key is a key, just like your house key. You just put it in a hole and then you turn and then it starts the car. Nowadays, there's no hole for you to put it in. You just go in, push a button, start the car. And some smart keys even allow you to wind down your window remotely. Not sure whether you guys are aware of. Some, they are not even aware of such feature. Other than that, when you look at the used car and new car sales industry, nowadays you don't even have to go to a showroom to test drive a car, have a look at it. You just go online, a few clicks, book a slot, and then they will bring the car here and then let you test it, have a feel, and then if you're happy, just buy it. That's it. And then of course, like a lot of people, I also find autonomous driving, self-driving and electric vehicle, this kind of thing quite cool and fascinating. And quite lucky for me, I get to understand this technology a bit more than the others, and I had some opportunity to play around with it a bit. So yeah, basically that's how I, a millennial like me, end up what I'm doing now. but I'm still constantly learning, and as the industry is constantly evolving. But I am happy to share all my knowledge with everyone. Thank you, and see you around.